Chef Rhonda here again today. Welcome back to Kairi Lele's kitchen. Today we'll be making an all-time favorite. Guess what that is, guys? Stewed oxtail. It's a very, very popular dish in the Caribbean, throughout the Caribbean. And I will tell you, everyone has their own way of doing oxtail. But we're going to show you step by step today how we do it here at Kairi Lele's and Chef Rhonda's kitchen. So please follow along and we will show you just how we make this dish. Okay guys, so we're gonna get started with our oxtail. And before we do, I just want to take this time to show you a list of our ingredients. So the first thing we have here is our oxtail. It's already seasoned, as you can see. Part of our seasoning process is always to make sure we wash it with lime, vinegar, and salt. We also take the time to cut the fat, the slime, and everything out of the oxtail, so we make it really, really lean. And as you can see, it's very lean. We don't have any fat or anything on it, okay? So it's seasoned to perfection. We also have our oil. I would say this is about a tablespoon of oil. With oxtail, you don't want to use too much oil because oxtail is, it springs its own oils. So you want to be light on the oil when you're cooking stew oxtail. We also have some sugar, brown sugar for burning the sugar so it can get caramelized. We have some ketchup. We have about maybe a teaspoon of pimento, and that's ground pimento. We have about 1/3 of a teaspoon of ground clove. We have, for later on, a habanero pepper and some fresh organic thyme. And we're gonna use this ingredient later, the thyme and the pepper. And we also have some diced up carrots, as you can see. And these we're gonna use later on. Okay, so we're gonna get started right now. Okay guys, so our pot is preheated, so it's time for us to start cooking. So the first ingredient we're gonna put in is our oil. And this is olive oil, but you can use any oil of your preference, okay? So we're gonna just pour this in the pot. And again, like I stressed before, you don't wanna use too much oil when you're cooking oxtail, because oxtail springs its own oil, okay? I'm also gonna go right in with the brown sugar, and I would say this is about a tablespoon of brown sugar. We have about 3 or 4 pounds of oxtail, so we're gonna put that right in. And to make sure that this gets caramelized the way we want, we're gonna keep stirring it. And you're gonna make sure it gets caramelized where it gets like a golden dark brown. And once you keep stirring it, it gets melted to that point, okay? Like it's getting there. So I just want to show you a little bit of what it looks like. And we're gonna get ready to go in with our oxtail right now. This a very good stir up, make sure all the coloring gets on all the oxtail. I also like to go right in with the ketchup, so we're gonna do that. I also like to go in right now with the ground pimento because this also helps with the coloring. Ground pimento. Alright guys, so right now we're just gonna let this really like brown down a little bit, let it get into its form as far as the coloring and so on. So we're gonna cover it right now and we're gonna come right back to this, okay? Okay guys, so our oxtail is on. It's fully, caramelized and it's come into a boil. So now what we take this time to do is put it in our pressure cooker. So we're gonna transfer it from the stove into the pressure cooker, and then later on we're gonna transfer it back to the stove, okay? Now we're gonna add the carrots in. Also add the clove, about a third of a teaspoon. And if you like it hot, we have our pepper. And last but not least, we have our thyme. Fresh thyme, that is, organic fresh thyme. And we're just gonna let this simmer down into a nice thick gravy. The oxtail is cooked already. It was pressurized, as you can see. So we're gonna let this simmer down so the carrots can cook and the gravy thickens a little bit, okay? Okay guys, so this is what our final product of oxtail look like. Oh my God, it smells so amazing. And one thing I want to tell you, when you cook an oxtail, make sure it's cooked to perfection where the meat falls off the bone and it's very tender. I haven't tasted this as of yet, but I can tell you that's the texture you want. It looks great and it smells great, and I am 100% sure it tastes great, okay?
Please like, share, and subscribe.